残念。相打ちだの。違う。拙者の勝ちだ。
Okay.
3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to. I'm going to start over again with that. I'm going to do that in a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Western Mass Comedy. I'm going to do it again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop. Boop.
Boop. Boop.
There we go. Looks like I didn't even know we were going to have a guest so quickly. Is that Joan in there? Oh, no, it's your hand. I actually surprise non-guest guest.
But did you see me like look into the background as if to see?
You tricked me. I thought we had a guest, and I thought it was your son, Jonan. I'm just paranoid because he does show up as an unannounced guest quite often. And it looked, because I'm farther away, I looked back and it suddenly looked like all of Jonan was tucked against your leg, because that's the camera angle I'm working with here.
Hello.
Yeah, we do not have a guest today, but we do have me, Ezra Pryor. We got Jason Gallagher, head of tech management. He designs websites. If you want work done on the interweb design and stuff, he's making me a website for my massage business, Change of Pace Massage Therapy. Gonna be up soon. He's a real tech whiz. And then we got Ryan Arnold. He's what some call a modern prophet of sorts. Like if you're looking for passages about how to approach the times emotionally, written in neat poetic verse, Ryan Arnold is the man for you.
Hello.
And yeah, so this is episode 19. I didn't say that, but so I was thinking back when I was 19, you guys, I don't know about you, but I was lost. I was a lost boy.
Yep.
I hadn't learned about the powers of comedy and how it can transform pain into an epic bonfire of glowing glee that attracts the whole neighborhood to smile in your favor. I didn't know that at 19. I was just a bummed out kid until I went on the internet at age 22 and I looked up this thing called comedy, and there were jokes in it, and there were stories in it, and it were movies, and it was YouTube channels like this one, Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop. Boop, boop, boop. How'd you guys like that wraparound? This is episode 19. But it is a hard time right now. Are you guys finding ways to stay light of heart despite the darkness? And how have you been doing that?
I'm pretty sure it's episode 20.
Episode 20?
I think
so. Are you sure? No, I think it's episode 19 because what did I label the last one? Because the last one up was like the last one I posted was Evil Dead 2, which was 17, and that was one before the last one, which you're working on, right?
Yeah.
18. So the one you haven't worked on yet is 18.
The one I'm
that you are working on.
I am working on it. Yeah.
So he's working on 18. This is episode 19.
I guess you're right.
This in the comment. We'll dispute this in the comment section. If you guys want to say what you think, you want to cast a favorable opinion. If you want to vote, snakes are tight. Snakes ain't tight.
What episode is this?
Episode 19.
Hey, well, to answer 19. Your question, I'm battling the darkness.
Yeah, how do you do
well.
that?
Quite well. Thank you.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, I battle the darkness every day, first thing in the morning. I wake up. The trick is well-made coffee.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I drink 2 pots a day, for real.
I drink at least 2 cups a day. I aim for 3, though.
I got you beat. 2 pots is about 5 mugs for me because I use the French press, so a pot ain't quite a pot. It's like 2/3 a pot.
Yeah.
But you pack the pot. If you pack the pot full of grounds, that's how I do it. You get all hounded up on that caffeine because you just dumped in like twice the recommended serving amount. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So every half a cup of coffee is actually like a full Red Bull. Just a tip for you guys trying to stay caffeinated at home: put a ton more grounds in when you make it. right? Ryan, you know what I'm saying? Double up
Absolutely.
the dosage.
I put crazy grounds in my coffee for sure.
Right.
It's 100% the way I do it, and I stay. I'm drinking a night pot of coffee right now. I went down to the gas station because I get home and I realized that I have spent the last of the coffee grounds, and I'm like, I gotta be at my most energetic for the cast. So I went down to the gas station down the hill, paid $10 for a can of Maxwell House because I gotta have my bean juice.
Yeah. Can I do a cheers to? I don't want to call it bean juice, but to coffee, to midnight coffee.
Yeah.
We should have a section called Midnight Coffee because this keeps coming up. We both drink coffee past dark, and I don't know about you, Ryan, but I think it adds to our intrigue and mystery as personalities.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I got a lot of drinks going right now. I also have a seltzer and a beer and a regular water. I want to stay well rounded.
Have you guys ever gone out on a coffee date with a girl and gotten like way too hyper?
Yeah, she's like not impressed.
Yeah, and you're just like, I feel bad. I went to college and didn't use my degree. And she's like, whoa, easy on the cappuccino.
I would be so madly in love if she had said that.
I would too, actually.
I'm drinking the last of my cold brew that I made. It's got turmeric in it, and cinnamon. Yeah.
No.
It does, and
Okay,
it's also got coriander. It's got some coriander in it.
You're just showing off now.
Yeah,
Jason always does this. We talk about our basic meat and potatoes, and he hops on and talks about his coriander and thyme seeds and pepper bushes and whatnot.
I'm 38.
Coffee is acceptable enough that you like if you're out on a date or you're with friends and you've had too much, you can tell them like as an excuse, like if you can't be normal, you're basically freaking out on a drug, caffeine. But
yeah, right.
But like I've never been in a situation like there's a time where I'm like I can't be a human being, but if you tell people like too much coffee, I'm fucked up on caffeine, there is no person in this world that won't go, oh yeah, okay, that checks out.
Some people don't drink coffee. Some people aren't insane. Like, I have a very physically demanding job, and yet sometimes I'll give like 5 deep tissue massages. And I know I'm going to eat at some point, but my massages are between 10 and 3. I don't eat. I just drink a cup of coffee between each massage and just keep the adrenaline train rolling. But on dates, it's true. It's almost great. You like set it up to be nervous, but it's true. Maybe it's the perfect date because you can always pawn it off on your caffeine vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't usually act that way, girl. I hope I didn't offend you. I was just all hopped up on the jazz syrup.
Girl, you make me nervous. That caffeine gives me anxiety. And with that body, I'm tripping.
Oh, damn. Jason's spitting verses. This is Jason's a 413 level MC whose verses be tighter than a sailor's rope around the knot that ties a ship to its mast.
I do a backflip around piracy. Invert the blade, you see. I pierce you with a rapier so clear that it's made of glass and paper.
Wait, Jason, hold on 1 second. Can you tell me if you can hear this? Can you guys hear this?
No.
Wait, no. Now can you hear it?
Nah.
You didn't hear that song?
No.
Okay. You guys have just seen a test run. Because I wanted to show my music. I wanted to know if I wanted to share music on here, if it would come through, but I guess it won't. So I'll have to figure that out.
Technology.
That'd be so nice, huh? But
if you could play some beats while I'm freestyling.
Yeah, I was actually going to, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that would be sick.
I did send you them beats though. I give a shout out to Rogue Wave. I'm gonna shout people out. Rogue Wave. I won't say his real name because I don't know if he wants me to do that. But he makes dope beats, Holyoke based, $10 a beat. Look up Rogue Wave. We're gonna be featuring some of his beats in the future. Once we got them hammed and hawed and chopped up and dried out from the barn, we got to cure our beats first. But what was I saying? So yeah, you guys, we're a news show, right? So on Western Mass Comedy Group, stay in the loop. You snoop, boop, boop, boop. The point is that you stay in the loop about what's going on in the valley. Am I right, guys? In the region,
That's right. Yeah.
We try to stay in the loop where we can, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is Western Massachusetts, and you have to check the news every day to find out about the COVID virus. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little sick of the Governor Baker speeches. Not because I don't like Governor Baker, but I feel so bad for Mr. Baker for having to continually go out there and make these brilliant speeches and not get all the approval that he deserves for his masterful handling of this epidemic. I think he's been very on board with all policy, health lines. And so he gave a speech today in as much to say, basically what all the speeches say is, this is my impression, we have to do the things that will keep us safe. If we want to stop the spread, there are things that we must do that we know are the things that we must do, are the things that we must do. All right, so now we're going to watch this real press clipping as a comparison.
Is that true?
You guys heard that?
Is that shit true?
Here we go.
About what we must do?
Hold on.
Where did I just put my coffee?
Is it muted?
Could you not hear it?
No. We can't see it.
Nothing's working. Nothing's working.
I can see it.
Oh, shit, really? I see or hear nothing.
Oh, I know how to do it. Hold on now. Let me try. We're having a tech failure. This is Jason's fault. He's supposed to know what I was about to be doing and fix it ahead of time. I'm just kidding.
I'm calling the HuffPo.
You better. On yourself, you traitor. Jason's
I'm gonna say I'm looking for a job.
Jason, I've been hearing your keyboard clacking a whole lot. I would just wonder who you've been emailing, if it might not be the HuffPo and you're not telling us about it.
I mean, I would never lie to you.
I'm sorry. No, I think I just brought him up because I'm embarrassed that I couldn't get the news thing to play. But Governor Baker, basically what he was saying is, do the shit that you got to do. Like, have you guys been out there and you've seen someone defiantly not wearing their mask? I've kind of wanted to run into one of those people, one of those videotaped incidents. You have? You've seen someone be like, I'm not going to wear my mask. How'd that happen?
I've seen people at the Tractor Supply store where I went to get earplugs recently who weren't wearing masks.
Just showing out all the businesses. I could seriously ruin. I'm not going to do it, but I've been going crazy. Few places I've gone to myself, the people working at the window aren't even wearing their masks. They just have it draped over their chin, and they're yelling orders for the bagels that I'm ordering. They're like, "Yeah, he ordered 6 bagels." For reals.
I think this candlelight is making me look more tired.
It's probably making you
like a tired pumpkin.
You look like you have to tell the story of the pumpkin head on the horse. the pumpkin
head on the horse.
What do I look like?
The pumpkin-headed head horseman.
Kids, all the kids around the block know the story of pumpkin head on the horse. kids, gather the fuck around right now. I'm gonna tell you about.
Hit it. I don't know the full story. I was acting like I did, but
lay on me.
So there was this man, and he was like, I don't want to be a man no more. He was thinking I can't handle the pressures of being a man no more. And his family, they own this pumpkin patch barn, right? So he goes.
This should have jazz flute or saxophone. Do.
And he says, I don't want to be a man no more. And one of the biggest pumpkins whispers to him, you don't got to. And he goes, what do I got to do? And the pumpkin goes, give me your head and I'll give you a pumpkin head.
You can be
The
a
guy
pumpkin.
said, what'll happen? It'll go, you ain't have no soul, and you just gonna ride around on your horse scaring kids forever, but you'll be like cool with it. And so then it happened, and the guy who lived on the farm, his family wouldn't talk to him no more because he had a pumpkin for a head, so he turned into a ghost too.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the story of the pumpkin head on a horse.
The ending was really spooky.
It was supposed to be. It was a Halloween tribute.
So are we not doing the news clip thing?
No, well,
We just have to pretend we saw it and then react to it. All right, 3.
it was
2,
just
1.
no. I'll
shit,
start with a hot take.
What?
Let me give you my
What?
hot take on it, you
Oh my
guys.
God.
Did you see that? That was crazy.
Can I give you my hot take on it? I want to
Yeah,
give you my
brother.
hot take on it. I think Governor Baker, I like his style. I find his voice very comforting when he talks. The composure he holds behind that stand of calm amongst chaos never ceases to impress me when I watch his press briefings. I'm blown away by his eloquence and simplicity of terms when he says stuff like, there's stuff we must do. But my question is, you guys, we ain't gonna do it, are we? I don't know about you guys, but you hanging out with family for Thanksgiving, or are you not risking it this year?
Well, it's not a risk because my family doesn't really go anywhere, and I'm in like a pod, so it's like a minimized risk. It's not like I'm leaving the area, you know. I'm like going down the
Jason,
highway.
I'm calling the quarantine police right now. I am actually a contact tracing agent. If you know anyone that has been sick, no, I'm just fucking around. I'm gonna see my family too, but I'm not the only one. I'm not the first person who say, "Hey, this might be trouble," because people spread it. Never think that they're the ones that's gonna spread it. Kind of like how everybody ends up with herpes.
I think that
Back in
we
the
are at the
90s,
I think we're at the beginning of a time where we're gonna have to like
tidal
really
wave.
hunker down and deal with some like serious isolation. I'm ready for
Yeah,
it.
I've been. I
Yeah.
mean, I am an
It's
isolationist,
gonna be
so
it's gonna be The Shining. It's gonna be. I feel like there's gonna be one Jack Torrance for every 100 people for real.
I call Jack Torrance.
It's gonna be.
Oh,
It's gonna be
relapse.
you.
That's why you can't relapse during all this, because you'll turn into that's what happens to Jack Torrance in The Shining. As soon as he takes that sip, that's actually when his real murderous instincts kick in that movie. I don't know if you noticed.
I want like a
The
version of that,
timing's
but
pretty
like
exact.
a version of that, but like with weed, where Lloyd just like becomes like the backup band of the DJ, where like he relapses on weed and he's like, "Oh shit, Lloyd, drop that beat."
It should have started with
And
you
then the
doing
wife's like,
snowman
"No, I
instead
thought
of
we were."
freezing to death.
He's got like those Kanye glasses on, you
Of
know,
course
and
he
it's like,
does.
shit.
She's
Why
like,
you
I
gotta
thought we
ruin
had gotten over this.
Don't you know the holidays ain't no time for no Kanye glasses? That's more of like you bust out your Halloween, your Kanye glasses on Halloween. Maybe this is on the fashion style section. Everybody knows the only way your Kanye lenses on the first 2 months before Halloween, from August 31st to October 31st. Otherwise, don't wear them. That comes from the Chicago Style Department official citing source quotations.
Talk about it. Fucking preach.
I did. I think I finished. I think I finished on the subject, but I do want to talk about
I think we're on alternate
Mr.
timelines.
You guys think you would enjoy this is so ridiculous, but if you were no, it's a good question actually. I'll start with you, Ryan. If you got to sit down to dinner with Mr. Baker and ask him one question about how he's handling this COVID thing and how you think it could be done a little better, what would you say over that dinner to Mr. Baker?
Like give him a tip, like give him some advice. Like, is that what you're
Give him
saying?
some advice. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
What advice would you give
I
him?
don't have a perfect answer for this question, but I feel like what you're asking is what I
Exactly.
either say.
So don't be so hard on him.
I feel like you're saying, should I
So
either
don't be
say,
so
"Hey,
hard
man,
on him.
man, declare martial law and close everything and tell everybody to stay the fuck inside," or I could
That's
say,
what I'm hoping for.
"Hey man,
Martial
open
law.
everything, open the schools, open the businesses. COVID's a hoax." I mean, I feel like those are equally ridiculous sentiments. And so if I had dinner with him and I could ask him one question, I would
Great
say,
lead-in. Sorry, what would you say? to Governor Baker.
When was the last time
You don't remember it.
when was the last time you busted a move wholesale? That's what I'd ask him.
All right, that's a good question. Like on the dance floor?
Yeah, what? Just in general. I mean, on the dance floor, in the boardroom, on the ladies,
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of what his panache, what his ultimate panache moments been of late, like what he been doing to be crushing it on the side and whatnot.
Exactly.
How is he in general?
He's fatherly. I like him mainly because he's got a very fathering tone. He's like the epitome of a guy who sounds like a father talking no matter what he says.
I brought this up before.
Listen, darling. This can only go one way.
It's hard for me to judge an authority figure because, in my mind, anybody who accepts a mantle of authority is automatically an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, why else would you do it unless you were prepared to be, an asshole? That's what you have to do to lead. You have to be foolhardy enough to think that you know what's best, but also like you have to be able to you have to hurt people. You have to be unfair. I mean, honestly, like you have to be a dick to want to be in charge of everybody in the first place. And so I automatically don't trust you. And that's why I should be exempt from jury duty.
You got it. Hey, I never told you this, Ryan, because I don't talk about it much, but my uncle's the judge and he told me you've been on the docket, but I'll tell him to get you off the docket. How you like that? Friends help friends. There we go.
I'm so relieved. Thank you.
No one wants to be on jury duty. Depends on the case, though. Jason, if you if you sat down, if you got the chance to sit down and have a dinner with Mr. Baker and ask him just one question, what did it be?
I'd probably ask him for like stock tips,
Stock tips. All right. So bust a move. So what we want to know about Baker is we should email him. We want to know about your stock tips and we want to see some recent dance footage. That's what I would like to see. Because I was picturing when you said that, Ryan.
Raps. When was the last time you freestyle rap? I'd accept that too.
You'd say that, and then a stage would pop up right behind him, and the lights would go on, and music would start playing. And it'd be like, "Come on, show me what you got."
Come like a situation where all the other governors are like, "Oh shit," like he's just dropping such crazy legislation that they're all like, "Oh fuck you."
That's the governor's ball, dog. That's the governor's ball. That's a real thing, dude. You ain't heard about the governor's ball where they'd be throwing their jewelry on the floor and just rolling around in it for fun? That's how the governors roll. But I like Mr. Baker personally. I think people need to lay off him. This is my character who is very defensive of Mr. Baker for no reason. I don't know. I think he's done a decent job during all this. I don't personally know how he's failed or succeeded. This virus has just run rampant. It's hard for a governor to control that. I like his personality and character. I know he's Republican, but I was saying it sarcastically, but I do feel bad for him. Imagine having to go up and talk for the news every 3 days and be like, listen, I'm just a dude trying to say some things to try to get more tested. That's what they need. They need more testing spots because apparently there's been like 3-hour traffic wait for a COVID test this last week. So I think I was trying to. Well, it's not. Yeah. I think we're all gonna come home from Thanksgiving with a little bit of extra turkey, if you know what I mean. A little bit of
COVID the turkey.
A little bit of goose gill.
Jesus Christ!
Shit, mother. Damn.
That's not a threat. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen to us all, and we're all gonna deserve it. You guys have been reading the Bible a lot recently. It's been telling me basically, yeah, we all deserve this shit.
So let me get this straight. This isn't a threat. It's a promise. He threatened.
What I'm hearing is that my whole family's going to die, and we all deserve it. That's basically
no.
What I'm hearing here.
Oh my lord. You guys are sharp. How are you picking up on all,
I think
all of
Ezra
my
is
sly,
also
unconscious
claiming that the
mental
menstrual
images?
cycle is God's curse brought down
I
upon.
mean, that was one of my later points. That was one of my later points later on.
More like
But I was
upon man,
going
am I
to bring
right?
up about how Governor Baker is, you know, he's nothing but another man of God. You know, he knows
he's a real
being a man
battle
of God.
axe.
He comes in with a
He's
real
got,
hard tone.
yeah, he comes down hard, but fair, like
Father,
a like a copper hammer. I don't fucking know.
right?
I don't know anything about Governor Baker.
I can't get, this is really because I can't get anyone to have a conversation with me about Governor Baker, and I really just want to talk about his public speaking style. And it's not the most exciting, but it is almost like ASMR to me. Like I do put on a Governor Baker address because they're all in the same cadence, and it's always like slightly understanding / slightly disappointed is the tone he takes. He's like, listen, we all want this to get better, right? Me too. I do too. Listen, I really want this to stop. I don't want this to be happening any more than anyone else does. So there's things that we have, you know what I mean? I would just start dying,
Do you
you
think?
know,
Do you
having
think
to say the
he's
same
locking
thing.
down too much or not enough?
I think not enough. I think we should be, but then it turns into this whole thing where they think you're demanding that they just shut stuff down. I'm just saying I wish they would find a, I don't know, I'm not in charge of the economy, but I wish they would push
Do you
for a
think
way
that there's
to
like a way to do
get
this
people
without
money.
I mean,
Farms.
do we have to be sacrificed? Because if we lock down as much as we probably should, we're going to lose some small businesses, which sucks for everybody, and nobody wants that. So is there any
Yeah.
solution to that?
Yeah.
Everything virtual
bailed
somehow.
out
Order a
all these-
virtual sandwich.
They bailed out $1 billion businesses as soon as COVID hit, but they haven't done shit for any of the small businesses. There's like tons of
Yeah.
restaurants that have like actually closed down like permanently, and like the I mean, like Trump fucking dropped the ball. Like, let's all be honest about that. Like,
Yeah, he was talking about himself the whole time.
it's insane. Like he made a fucking national pandemic about himself, and he's killed like over 200,000 people. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, good thing he's gonna be out of the old house soon enough. You know, we'll have a new old white guy in office. Thank God. Thank God we're gonna have a new old white guy.
I just hope I hope to see him get dragged out. I really want him to like.
I'm glad it's gonna be another old white guy. Let me tell you that. I'm just kidding.
I had a dream a couple of weeks ago that revolution swept the streets and a lynch mob tore Mark Zuckerberg limb from limb. And then, do you ever have one of those dreams where you wake up and then you mistakenly process it as fact, and then it's like 3 days later when I'm like, hey, I haven't heard anything else about Mark Zuckerberg being murdered in the streets. And then I think I asked my girlfriend, I was like, did Mark Zuckerberg get murdered recently?
That would be big news.
I think I would have heard about it.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
So you thought that maybe Mark Zuckerberg had gotten murdered because you had a dream where Mark Zuckerberg got murdered.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you ever have a dream that you get like some money or drugs or something and you put it in your pocket at the end of the dream, and then when you wake up you're like, well, at least I still have that money and drugs, and then you're like, oh wait, no.
I'm way less conscious than you are in my dreams.
I
wake
did have
up
a
and
dream.
think like, shit, what am I thinking right now? Oh yeah, you had
Is
a
it
dream.
okay?
You had a dream, Jason?
Is it okay to talk about this? I don't know. I had a dream that
there you go.
a part of my penis came off.
Oh no.
Yep. Totally normal.
That means you're scared of elves.
My girlfriend was like freaked out, and I was like, "It's okay, babe. It's a dream." Like I knew it was a dream the whole time.
That's in the dream?
Yeah.
Oh, trippy. Inception.
That is trippy.
Yeah.
I don't have dreams. I used to have dreams. I don't remember anymore. But I've had dreams when I wasn't sleeping much of like demonic visitations, like recurrent themes of like 3 dogs like hounding me at my doors, literally trying to get into the doors of my house. That kept happening in dream form.
Did
Sometimes
you say
there would be
dreams?
I I know I sounded so emo purposely, but no, I can't remember my last dream, so that's how little I've been remembering my dreams as of late.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't remember them either, and I always assumed that like one day, because I've heard that's like part of. Did you go through a period? Did you remember dreaming when you weren't smoking weed? Because I've heard that that's like something weed does is make.
I'm not smoking weed.
Yeah,
No,
I've had that experience.
I do smoke a little. I think it does probably make you less likely to remember what your dream was.
I heard
Also,
from Joe Rogan that when you quit smoking weed, you have crazy dreams.
I bet. Yeah, because your brain has to like readjust to a whole new like living room pretty much. It's like, I haven't been here before. What kind of dreams we gonna have now?
For real.
For reals. That'd be an interesting section. We have someone withdraw from weed, do before and after tests on them.
Let's
Play
all
like
do
ping
it.
pong. Yeah.
Let's all do it.
All right. Well, it'll be like the sober
Super
challenge.
Size
I know.
It'll be like the Super
Rogan
Size
does.
movie.
Except I don't really want to do it yet.
I don't want to do it either.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Maybe.
I feel pretty crazy when I'm not smoking weed. Actually, like
I just went I just went a month without drinking to see if that would be a big deal, and I was relieved to see that it was, and I was like, oh, guess I'm not an alcoholic because I just went a month without drinking.
That's cool.
You're probably just manifesting the addiction into a corner you don't even see, though, Ryan. I bet there's a big addiction corner stacked up in some section of your brain.
Oh, I think that statement was a lie in all kinds of ways, but
Oh, right. Ryan lies.
I mean, all the facts were true, but I mean, like one of those lies you tell yourself. The second part, I did go a month, but I mean the part where you're like, oh, I guess everything's fine then. Everything's fine.
I want to see a guy on the witness stand admitting that he's lying to himself. He's like, Your Honor, I may be lying to myself when I say this out loud here, but I wasn't there. They'd be like, well, it sounds like he was there. That's what I would think.
Why would you say he wasn't there if he was?
Why would you say you wasn't there if you?
There's definitely a part of me that wasn't there.
If you weren't there, you would lie about it.
There's a part of me that didn't have the knife at all.
Right?
There's like a large part of me that did not go to her apartment with the knife one bit, even a little bit.
Ryan, are you copping up to something right now? If so, can we save it for off the air? Sounds like trouble. Sounds like you're in above your head again. The Connecticut Mafia.
I don't want to get involved in your murders.
Ryan's got deep ties with the Connecticut Mafia.
I'm covering from Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard? More like Colonel Custard because this shit stank. How do you like that?
Is there a way that we can turn the podcast into the game of Clue? Do you guys remember that? It's such a fun game, all except for the fact that you have to keep track of that notebook.
Yeah, I don't like any game where I have to keep track of stuff, so I'm sorry. I like free flying forum games where you throw stuff at walls like darts or ping pong. I'd like to start we should start a COVID era ping pong league.
I like Clue.
COVID era. Clue's fun.
Thank you, Jason.
No, I'm not a big fan of Clue. I just sold out.
Yeah, you just
Clue. If you pay me, Clue. If you pay me, I'll do anything for you, Clue.
Give me $1 million.
Yeah, so I guess I'm the only one who feels such visceral emotions about the way Mr. Baker makes me feel when he talks. I feel like his son. I have a weird son complex where I'm suddenly like his son, and I'm just like, yeah, Dad.
Yeah, I can't. You're right,
Dad.
With you at all.
I know it's I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm not proud of it. I don't know what the hell it means, but I am here waiting anxiously for an email from Governor Baker asking me how I'm doing, though. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing
and ask me how I'm doing.
What I'm hearing here is that Baker is daddy.
No. Baker is like in my subconscious a daddy character who could write me an actual letter, though. You know.
Do you want to do a slam poem about Charlie Baker? Do you have a slam poem?
Charlie Baker. They said you was a Quaker. They said you came from the musty shores of Britain. Couldn't pass no bills, but who was they kidding? With all the ladies you was smitten, going to the Congress Hall and to the Senator's ball, and always talking with that boring drawl until the fall. Yeah, it's Mr. Charlie. Yeah, doing the best he can. There we go. That was our first song, Ryan. That's the first song. I think it should be called Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker.
You just didn't notice when I did it last time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have been tuned. I was either tuned in or tuned out. I can't remember because I was
You're like
either
too
tuned
deep in the pocket, too much in the groove.
I'm sorry.
It's
You know?
okay.
Yeah,
I
like-
respect it, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank
you know what? I always record this purposely with my back against the wall. That's how I do it. You know, I like to think of myself as a creative sort of raccoon. If I can't get in on the good scene, I'm at least gonna be ripping through your trash bags, you know, for some free food.
Trash Bandicoot. You know?
If I can't afford it, that don't mean I ain't gotta knock your trash cans over and claw through them bags and scoop out some hard-boiled eggs you didn't finish, you know, and maybe half a banana, something like that, you know.
Scampering.
We should have a guest raccoon. That's a ridiculous, you know, idea. But if one of us doesn't adopt, I don't think you're allowed to adopt a raccoon. I take it all back. I don't think humans should own raccoons, but I do love raccoons.
If I could
wish
see,
I could adopt a possum. Honestly, there I said it.
They're vicious. Either could attack you really hard.
Yeah,
Raccoons and possums. They both have teeth.
Steve
and claws and
Yarbro.
shit.
I could see Steve Yarbro having a raccoon or of some sort.
A raccoon or two? I was hoping you were going to say a raccoon or two. A raccoon or two.
Are we the raccoons of the comedy podcast world?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've earned that title. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, that was what the idea for how to call my podcast, what it was before, or something like that. But I'd say yes, we are the raccoons of the podcast world. I would also say that I would say we're not scared to cut deep. You know what I mean? If there's a political issue, a lot of these podcasts are kind of soft footing and tiptoeing around the issues, you know. But I stay tuned in. I watch Fox. I watch CNN. I watch TNT. I get a really well-gathered, balanced perspective before I come across my viewpoints. And so far, I've been up all night researching, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to vote yes, snakes are tight.
Good. I'm glad. Glad we got you on our side.
Finally, it's about time to hear you say that, Ezra.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was the first pro-snake guy. Don't play it like that. I was joking. I've been pro-snake this whole time. But we do need votes. You know what the problem with our poll is that nobody votes on them. We need to show people there's a reason their vote matters. And this time it's not with the president. It's about whether snakes is tight or not.
Yeah, give a hoot. You know?
Give a hoot. It is a contentious issue. I was downtown Northampton the other day, and I swear to God, I heard two different people talking about, like, oh, I saw a snake, and the other one was like, oh, you saw a snake? That's awesome. And the person was like, no, it wasn't. I hate snakes. I heard that twice.
I don't like that attitude about snakes.
Yeah. Well, there was always one person who was saying, no, it was tight, I saw a snake. And the other person's always going, no, that wasn't tight, you saw a snake. So that's kind of where it plays out on the streets of snake talk as we talk about our encounters with snakes, you know?
So the average is kind of like a medium kind of thing.
Snakes is kind of tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the medium would be. But don't be don't be a snake centrist with the snakes are just kind of tight viewpoint.
Well, what I'm hearing is that it's like snakes are tight to some and not tight to others. You know, it's like kind of both.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's why the vote. That's why I'm just curious. I'm not trying to.
You're saying it's not a black or white issue. You're saying it depends on who you are.
That's why we talk about it. Yeah, it's like the same thing with healthcare. You know, any of these issues. Right? I research them well.
Drugs aren't good or bad. It depends on how you use them.
That's right.
Or just monsters.
Didn't Yoda say that? Isn't that that's
a monster?
Yoda
Some
quote.
People might be or a demon. It's like, do you ever see Hellraiser? Hellraiser with Pinhead, and they
I
say,
wish.
They say, "Who are you?" And he says, "We're angels to some and demons to others." It's just like that.
I dig it. Hey man, I dig it. That just means it's about perception, right?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, dig.
Hell yeah.
dig, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's up.
You know what's up on today's jazz ass cats talking shit. I don't know. I think too many of us are coming down with the Governor Baker blues, talking about how we find Mr. Baker, not to our liking, as if you didn't vote Mr. Baker into office yourself, you know?
I mean,
I just say, if you want to
I'm really striking for a political edge this episode. I'm going for
if you want to count yourself as a leader
edge.
of society, get ready to have me deem you to be an asshole.
There we go. That's a fair political point.
Because I feel like, and I hate to get on this bandwagon, but I liked the old Barack Obama more than I can remember really liking any politician. Mostly in my lifetime, I was pretty big on Ralph Nader back in the early 2000s. But my point being that Barack Obama was still as nice of a guy as he might have been in some contexts, a fucking murderer, as every politician and decision maker is want to be. So before we go,
I don't think I'm going to stand up for politicians here, Ryan. You know what? At least they have the guts, all right, to put down their baseball gloves and their exterior passions to go and hit the books at college and get a grad degree and a PhD in this stuff, and try to hold reign over the cats we call Americans, you know.
If they would all get graduate degrees, I would have even more, because that's I mean, I would much rather
even if they did it without a graduate degree, then it's like, damn, this dude's a politician and he got there without even being, you know. Ryan, what I'm saying is I think you jealous of politicians. I think that's what's going on.
I think if I wanted to be a politician, that I would also have to weather the criticism.
This is about your failed political career, Ryan. Let's be honest. Ryan, let's be honest. This is about your failed political career.
Ryan, is that what this is about?
Last fall, when Ryan ran for town hall, he spent all this money on posters and hired all these kids to carve all these pumpkins for him, thinking it would pay off with the voters. Thinking it would pay off with the voters.
I feel so disenfranchised right now.
Well, it's Ryan who's
local government, like city council, is not even select boards. They're not paid positions almost. I mean, I think you get a small stipend, but so most of these people have full-time jobs, and then they choose to
probably for the stipend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's for the small amount of authority, so that you can be like, oh, yeah, your sidewalk is on this side of the municipal, you know.
See, Ryan,
well, it's like it's the pettiest sort of like power, like, you know, the sense of like authority, because you can say like, oh, they can't park on this side of the street no more because of the I don't know. Like,
you guys sound like a bunch of communists. I'm just gonna say right now, you sound like a bunch of
lousy
communists. Just going after the politicians when the politicians are out there on the ground, knocking on doors,
working so hard,
giving televised speeches,
making
sure they show up to the daycare center to prove that they like children,
kissing babies.
At least they're pretending to pretend.
Yeah, thank God those babies are getting kissed.
I hope you guys appreciate. I'm just picking a stance I don't actually have, so that we can, play out this argument.
I appreciate. I'm putting up my raccoon.
Do you appreciate I'm being the dude who stands up for the man? You guys.
I hope you both appreciate when I put my foot up both of your asses, because your asses is grass.
I appreciate it so much, Jason.
I am here to take a stand for the benefit of capitalism. I was trying to talk about capitalism, but what you guys were doing was way more fun. So I was like, I'm just going to talk about. Oh, so one thing on this show that I like to say every now and then is I'm very pro-capitalist, super anti-Trump, but very pro-Nixon. I really think Nixon had a lot of good ideas. For instance,
They say that one of the reasons
breaking
that
the
Richard
law.
Nixon,
I really like the thing he did. The thing he liked that I really thought was cool is breaking the law. That's what I liked about his campaign. I thought that was like,
well, he said that if the president does it, it's not illegal. He famously said that, and Donald Trump has invoked the fuck out of that statement.
Yeah, that's executive power. That's like equivalent to executive power, but that's I'm not a court. I'm no court lawyer, so I don't know what counts and what doesn't.
Executive power isn't infallible. Executive
No.
power isn't, I
But
do
people
whatever
like
I
Trump
want.
and him will try to make it that way. Will try to make it like, they think they're Darth Vader and can just press a button at any given time. Those are scary politicians. Those are the ones you don't want in office that are always like, I could push this button over here. That's what Trump's whole presidency was like. Listen, I could be off here pushing this button,
You should be grateful.
You should be grateful I'm out here pushing these buttons while you ain't be out there pushing them buttons, So let me see. Mr. Baker is not responding, you guys, but I'm pro Baker. Okay, so let me give a
Are you texting him? Stop texting him.
I don't think I have the right number.
Did you text him? Did you text him? Did you call him Daddy?
He said
Bro,
he
just
said
not that into you.
He just said, "Who is this?"
Daddy, like one word.
He said, "Who is this?" And I haven't responded yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm going to admit it's me. I might not admit. I'm kind of like just that I've contacted to him and he's responded to me because that's more like the feeling of the idea that I want. So I might not respond back to Mr. Baker and tell him who I am.
You know what I would do if I was you?
I can leave him in the lurch.
I want to make it clear that this was raccoon hands and not like a fondling motion.
Yeah, no. And raccoons don't fondle. They're gentle
Ezra, I'll tell you.
Raccoons
I'll tell you
are
what you need to
gentlemen,
do.
even girl raccoons.
That's right.
I know this from experience.
Raccoons.
Yeah, Ezra, you got to set a trap for Governor Baker, okay?
Oh no, I can't.
Yeah, you have to invite.
Much.
No, it's okay. You're not going to hurt him.
Let's not talk about setting a trap for Governor Baker. Let's not go that far because I don't want it.
Nowadays, lots of raccoons take crack cocaine, and I've taken to call these creatures
Scrats.
Crackoons.
Oh,
Crackoons. Oh.
Ryan, that is rich. That is rich, Ryan. Let me tell you what. That is a hoot.
Mwah.
That is a real hoot.
What a treat.
Oh, man. Now I'm trying to think. Oh, can I tell you guys a really dumb joke? Can I do a dumb joke section? So there's this.
I think you've heard this.
Okay, thank you. So there's these two people. One of them was a huge.
Entries all around.
This girl was a huge fan of dubstep, right? And she went on a date with this guy, and the guy, learned about her passion for dubstep, and they got closer to each other, and all they did was listen to dubstep together, and they really bonded and fell in love over the music of dubstep. And then one day they were at home, and he turned down the dubstep music, and she went like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" He never turns down the dubstep, and he goes, "Baby girl, I hate to say it to you, but I'm in wub with you." Yeah, that's the reaction it usually gets. I just heard the uproarious internal takes about 10 seconds of wasted irony for the joke to kick in, but I like to add in a good 10 seconds of wasted irony into every joke. Slow cook it.
Yeah. There's something really delicious.
Don't you think wub. You get it though, right? You at least get the joke.
It invokes this sort of delicious silence that I found rather exquisite.
Hey guys, do you want to hear?
That's my real laugh.
That happened to be on my floor that I had to brush out of the way. That completely gives away my age.
Objects on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Billy Madison on VHS.
Oh, you son of a gun!
Just happened to be.
Yeah.
Typical.
That means you know what that means? That means you're keeping it real, unlike all these DVD heads. You know what I mean? You're not one of these new school DVD heads. You're a cassette tape freak, just like me.
I lost the case to that years ago.
You like that cassette tape freak? You know what I mean? We're against those disc heads with their always utilizing their
DVDs
discs
as well. But I am against. I see. I think that the streaming services
I'm trying to kick off some beef.
Skynet. They're
Skynet.
all going to turn into Skynet, and then we're only going to have our physical media. So I say more physical media.
If you could become, if they said either you have to die or we're going to completely replace your upper half of your body with a robot form, and you'll have your mind, but you'll see like a Nike advertisement every 5 minutes go across your eyeballs. Would you live or would you die? Because this is what Skynet might do, you know? They might be like, all right, off with the upper half.
Do I have to decide right away? Because I feel like if I decided to live, that after the first week of that shit, that I would be like, changed my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can't. That's part of the deal. You just live forever. So you really have to make up your mind.
I would choose die then.
All right. I like to add in a good choice for the person to really choose die. So sorry I didn't do that at first.
Have you ever watched a whole movie on YouTube with like the ads or like free Hulu or whatever that shit is? Or like maybe a couple years ago when you could get like new content on a network from their website, but there would be an ad every 15 minutes, and then it might completely crash in the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Mm-hmm. That's what we have to do. We have to add in ads, you know what I mean? In case our show gets too good, I think we should make sure we riddle them with some bad advertisements, you know?
Yeah, I haven't taken
we bought like a stream. We bought like a screen that
fake
said,
ads.
Skip ad, and had a fake ad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a product idea. Can I pitch it to you guys? It'll be sponsored by Banana Vodka Coin. Hopefully, we'll use the money from Banana Vodka Coin to funnel and luge it into this project.
I saw PayPal takes cryptocurrency.
Oh, hell yes, it does. We'll talk about that. But this idea, it's called Bopcorn. The popcorn that keeps on bopping.
Oh, yeah, I love this idea.
The popcorn that keeps on bopping. And what it does is it's a multi-thing, right? It makes the popcorn. And then you change out the disc, and the popcorn's in there. And it keeps on bopping because there's an air jet below it that makes it keep popping out of it, even though it's already popped. So you have to bop it out of air to pop it in your mouth. So it's the popcorn that keeps bopping.
Is there such thing as an idea that's too smart for the room?
That might be it, huh?
Like a little intellectual, honestly. Like a little, I'm sorry to say this, but it's like a little East Coast intellectual. Like, are they gonna get popcorn in the Deep South?
Yeah, right.
Are they gonna get popcorn in the bayou? You know.
Why are you hating on popcorn so hard?
It's like
gator fuckers.
It's trying to call me a Yankee.
It's pretentious, Ezra.
Oh my God, Jason, you're a seller. You liked it before. You liked that when I talked to you about it yesterday.
They're not gonna get popcorn in Trump's America.
Jason was on board with popcorn. Jason was just on board with popcorn.
Ezra, why are you putting me on blast like this? I'm trying to look cool.
I just realized how funny Chris Tucker Carlson, which is like what you keep calling Tucker Carlson, is. Like that should be the character. Is like Chris Tucker Carlson, where you're doing Tucker Carlson's show, but as Chris Tucker. We're like, hey man, I don't do a good Chris Tucker, but he talks fast and he's got a high voice, you know?
Yeah.
But he's
I'm pissed off that you went in so hard on popcorn, you asshole. You didn't have to shred it apart so hard and make me seem like you were basically let me get a chance. Well, basically I pitched my idea and your whole vibe was like, you're an elitist who thinks he's too smart for the room. Nobody's gonna get it. You cocky son of a bitch. It's too smart. And I was just like, oh, hey, you're hurting my feelings. Jason was like, yeah, it's dumb. And Jason was popcorn yesterday.
No.
Okay, wait.
No,
hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done either. It's not that.
It's buy 50%.
Okay, well, can I respond? It's not. You get a visual image. It's less cocky if there's a visual image to show the popcorn that keeps bopping, you know? And you can still do, now you can do once you bop, you can't stop, and you're not copywriting violation because the other
I'm going to write you a check
pop, you can't
for
stop.
$1 million right now.
So I can do it. If you,
popcorn.
Once you bop, you can't stop.
Is it one word or is there a hyphen?
There's a hyphen for sure. Definitely.
Really?
Popcorn. The popcorn that keeps bopping. It's not. I would
Oh,
say it's Dr. Seuss-esque, if anything. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting money. Thank you, Ryan. It's about time. You see that?
There you
That's the
go.
first time I got paid for one of my ideas. Ryan's a generous fella.
I believe in this
deposits. Yeah, he believes in it.
okay. I mean, I'm a little jealous now.
Well, nothing to be jealous of, you know. I haven't made
We're just over here
even
getting
a
rich.
popcorn machine. Yeah, selling ideas to the world. It's hungry for ideas that it wants to pay us money for. From what I heard.
I
Yeah.
just feel like, you know,
Not
like
opposite.
Ryan like cut you a check so fast. And like I've been doing like vodka coin for like
Dude, Vodka
6
Coin is
months
our
now.
project.
I
Vodka
can't
Coin is
write you a
our
coin
project.
for vodka coin, dude.
Ryan already knows he's getting in on the ICO. We just haven't started the launch yet.
I mean, right? Isn't that the whole point of cryptocurrency, that I can't just cut you a check for it?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, no, you can't pay for crypto in check yet. I don't think you can use PayPal and debit cards and stuff.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Right? Like you can only okay.
Well, we emailed Charlie Lee about
Jason,
it.
this jar of weed, I'm gonna leverage it against vodka coin. All right.
Okay, all right.
It's a bold move.
All right. Sending
That's
it over.
worth that's worth
I'd say it's 1 to 0.5.
0.02.
I was gonna say 1.05.
$100 worth of this is literally the strain insane in the membrane.
That's half a banana vodka coin, I feel like.
Yeah, that's actually a little
about
more
half
banana vodka of that, yeah.
I'd
I'd say a third. I'd say it's like a third.
A third of a banana vodka coin.
Yeah.
So, bye.
A banana vodka coin, I feel like, is about $35, right?
All right. I'll take the weed.
Banana vodka coin trading at $35.03. Now available on. No, that is cool. That crypto, my crypto's been doing good. My Litecoin, I picked the right one, you guys. Litecoin, founded by Charlie Lee. Its percentages pretty much always outmax the other top 10%, literally. It's why wouldn't you do Litecoin? It's the most profitable by far. Just if you looked at it by any money in and out operation, Litecoin is highest percentage yield returns, and it's busted back up above 85. It was stuck at about 39 to 43 for about a whole year. So it's good now that Litecoin's back up to $85, and I've got a bullish sentiment on this one. I think the money's just going to keep on getting thrown in because people are in a state of fear right now because of the election transition. And what people actually do in that, they do the counterintuitive thing and throw all their money into shit. And that's what's happening right now, actually. Shit's a booming. Moderna, they finally came out with I should have brought that up with the Baker thing before. The vaccine is pretty much almost done. I think they said Moderna 95% successful rate with the messenger RNA platform of delivery.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, Mr. Baker. We'll see. Every 3 days you come up and talk about that and say, that's all I have today. Thank you.
Every day, it's a new cure for one thing or another. Like last week, he said he had the cure for pimples. What happened to that?
Yeah, Mr. Baker, your advice is beat. Yeah. If I got to ask him one question and I got to sit down with Mr. Baker, I would ask him, what was the most important thing your mother ever taught you? You know, because I think that's the question that really gets that to the core of a man. And I found that the most successful men within a capitalist system are men that still talk to their mom like twice a day. So moms and corporate success go hand in hand, and I'm all about that, you know, being the corporate stogie of this comedy group here, you know, the old backboard linchpin of the conservative realm. I do got to stand up for corporate rights, you know, taking a stand for the rights of corporations. That's my controversial stance.
So brave.
Who will protect him if not a po' boy like me? No. Indeed. That's a new blues song. You guys want to I didn't usually I'm respectful enough to ask Steve Yarbro if I can talk to him, but I don't even really know.
Now.
Should I call him right now? You got my
Fuck.
phone? All right, give me a second. You guys, you know who I've been really worried about?
Steve Yarbro, right?
Yeah. Who else? Jason, has he been keeping you up at night wondering where he's at?
I always think about it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's never far from my mind.
It usually keeps me awake, I feel like, actually, like an extra, like probably 25 minutes every night, and it gets worse. I lose more minutes of sleep the more nights I don't know where he is. So yeah, I gotta
relatable, yeah.
Yeah.
Very relatable. Where is he going?
I think he's gonna call Steve. We're gonna find out.
Where's this old rascal going?
Where's that goofball?
I hate how checking my phone, I'm always like, let's see if that one person sent me anything mean.
Who did?
Let's see if I got any mean text.
If you only got one person sending you mean shit, you're probably you're not doing your part in the entertainment industry. I'll tell you that.
I should have more people giving me shit. Is that the key to success?
Yeah. Yeah, because then you'll attract haters. That's my problem, is I don't have enough haters, you know?
I got a bunch of haters, actually. I can help you out. I'll show you how to get some haters.
All right. Anybody watching this podcast, hey, fuck you.
That's right. How's that?
Sorry.
Hold on. Let me try to get this
You
ready.
like that, bitch?
I didn't mean it. Fuck
Hold
you.
on. Hey, be quiet, you guys.
Here he comes.
Hello? Oh, that always happens. I feel like he has that set up on his phone.
You think he's sleeping?
Suspense. Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I called him really late, didn't I? Oops. Hey, you guys, why didn't you check me on that ahead of time? That was rude. Now we may never get the show again. Oh, no.
Do you think he's going to call you back?
He's probably annoyed. I feel like I'm angering the dragon that is Steve Yarbro. And when he gets mad, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the pure, sheer wrath of an angry Steven Yarbro, but it's murderous. And I'm hoping he's not upset at me because he's lashed out at me big time before. It's hurt me.
He's going to blow you up on the Twitterverse, yo.
He is. He's going to call me out.
That would be
terrible. He's going to straight up murder you.
I really hope he doesn't.
Oh, I do feel bad though, but let's hope he's okay. Let's hope he's okay. I forgive myself for forgetting what time it was because I just worry about it so much that slip my mind, you know.
Yeah,
you're gonna be Jean-Benet Ramsey to Steve Yarbro's Menendez brothers.
You guys, we might need to switch contacts now. I think I might have ruined my connect with Steve Yarbro because I've gotten a little too creepy about it. I think. Like, I knew this whole time, I could end up creeping out Steve at some point within this section. To be honest, I just feel lucky it hasn't happened earlier. What with my stalker-like habits, you know,
Steve's,
constantly checking in with him, even though we haven't hung out in about a year. Probably finds it a little odd.
Well, nobody's hung out in a year. There's lots of people I haven't hung out with in a year.
I'm just imagining what he was. He probably rolled over and was like, "This fucking guy," and hung up. You know what I mean?
He's probably blown up the Twitterverse.
Probably.
You.
Ryan, I feel like you're mad at me or something. You just want someone to lay into me. Why don't you? You should make a fake. We should make a fake Yarbro. Well, can't do it now. I was about to say we make a fake Yarbro account, but I just announced it on air, so everybody will know.
Oh, here's Steve Yarbro now. Hi guys, I'm Steve Yarbro.
What if we made a...
Wait, Steve, where are you right now? I'm in the graveyard. What are you doing in the graveyard, Steve Yarbro? Oh, I'm grave robbing. What? That's terrible. You shouldn't rob graves, Steve Yarbro. Oh, I'm not taking anything except for some souvenirs. What are you taking, Steve Yarbro? Skulls and some genitals. Steve, leave the genitals alone.
Wow, Steve
Yarbro, sexophanist, necrophiliac, great, all-around great guy. I'm just kidding.
He's a great guy.
That's a parody. That's not.
I don't know if we can even leave that in the episode. we really test what we can leave in an episode. That's just pure blasphemy.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. No, that is not Steven Yarbro at all. He's He's a generous soul. I hope he forgives me for that late night incursion into his life. He's obviously going through a hard time. He hasn't answered any of our phone calls in about a week and a half.
He's a musician. He's probably out even in this pandemic. At 10:30, he's probably out.
He's probably busting out a jazz solo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should call him again. Yeah, you're right. I should call him.
Musicians
So what
don't
you're
go to-
saying is call again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he might be between jazz saxophone solos right now, while the rest of the band is tuning their instruments. And
Hit him up on.
it's Ezra.
Hit him up on Tinder.
You exploited my worst fear, though, when you're like, he's probably calling you out on Twitter. I do have an anxiety about call-outs, because I've seen them happen. Man, you ever seen someone swarm on the pile of an internet call-out? Harsh business.
Yeah.
Guilty before given a chance to look innocent. Yeah.
If you're making a podcast, it's all right. You can stir up any amount of shit and controversy if it's in the in the course of making a podcast.
Anything is allowed. Yeah, we're great artists. Artists are given the legal leeway they need to get the bloody job done.
Dude, we're artists. What are you gonna do?
Lock us down?
I'm
I don't think
Joseph
so.
Stalin. Welcome to Jackass. Right? Come on, baby.
Yeah, do something. This is art.
Well, Bopcorn, I'm abandoning Bopcorn. It ain't happening no more.
What? Why?
No, we
Taking
can do
my check
Bopcorn.
back.
Well, because there's no money in children's toy sales right now, and that's what it would be. It would be sold at. It would be. No, I take it back. Take it back. But we have to market to the kids. It has to be sold at KB Toys. And parents ain't buying their kids gifts right now because of COVID. So we'll come out with this toy. Come up with this dope toy, and all the parents will be like, "It's COVID. We ain't buying no toys."
You think we're buying our children toys during COVID?
Yeah,
made out of
no
corn.
way. I bet I'm right.
You think corn?
You think parents are buying more? I guess they might be actually. I don't know.
I would think
More
so.
toys. I wonder what the toy. We should look up the toy industry stats. How COVID's affected toy sales.
I'm pretty sure they've gone up, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, COVID is good for toy sales.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh man, I would, because I'm ignorant as hell and don't ever see nothing coming about 2 seconds before I list my Aunt Salad, but that's because she breathes so heavy on me. How'd you guys like that? That was my Southern man character. That's my new character. It's called the Southern Man.
It was great. What do we need to do before we get into the movie? Do we have snake facts? Can we?
Oh, I have to pee. Do you guys want to take a little break?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
right,
I'm gonna nuke this coffee because
I have to. Yeah, this is our usual. I think this is what we usually. Thank you guys for listening to us to eloquently cover such ethics, issues such as Governor Baker's stage presence, banana vodka coin, and bop coin, and what's going on in the world. And we'll be back with episode 19 of Stay in the Loop, you Snoop, brought to you by Western Mass Comedy Group. Yes, with Snake Facts. You want to open up with Snake Facts when we come back? Oh, we're going to have some Snake Facts when we come back.
Cute.
Cut. That will maybe happen after.
On for an afternoon and like forever, and I just like have been making so many unhealthy food choices as a result of having no oversight. Yeah. Like I'm an entity in and of myself, and usually I have to like pump the brakes a little bit on the food in a can or the unhealthy, because I gotta pretend to be a role model, or I gotta deal with the people being concerned. But now I'm a free agent, just having mead and chili.
Great. Yeah, that sounds like the best Thanksgiving would be just to eat alone, because you just eat all the shit that you would be eating if there weren't other people around.
Yeah, can you imagine how good Thanksgiving would be if it wasn't all required to be like gross, weird food?
If I just got to eat alone in my room, Domino's pizza like every other night, which is fine with me. No,
or like if everybody just like brought like their favorite food.
Isn't that just Thanksgiving?
Not really, because like with Thanksgiving, it has to be like pie and
Thanksgiving is pretty dope, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am kind of sad, even though I usually felt like weird having to hang out with my whole side of the family. It is a little sad that, a lot of people aren't going to see their families. I guess a lot of people are making the decision. I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but not to see their family at all because of COVID, which is a wild consideration. I feel like you're a bummer nowadays when you just speak honestly about this stuff, though, about COVID. Like, people are still just kind of like, let's not talk about it. Oh, don't be so negative about it. And it's like, it's not negative. Trends are going uphill. Case counts have been steady and also going uphill.
Yeah, I wish it was negative. Unfortunately, there's too much positive. Positive COVID.
Yeah, that's the case where you're.
Yeah,
That's where you go. You're trying to not
COVID
see the positive
positivity.
in it all. Yeah, positivity.
Yeah.
I held up the line at CVS the other day with my COVID test because she handed it through the window, and I'm really dumb, so I had to like take my time opening it up and figuring out like. So the part where the cotton swab is the cotton swab, right? That's what I asked myself 10 times until I was like, yeah, must be. Put it up in my nose, swirled it around, popped it back in, boom, negative. But I am scared. I work as a massage therapist and legally required to wear a mask, and the client's also legally required to wear a mask. The only scary part, the risk of the whole thing's scary, actually. I'm terrified about COVID. That's why I'm talking about it. When they face up at the end, when I do the part where I sit down right behind them, and they're face up, that's when I'm COVID transmission rate would be at its highest, because it would be breathing. This is my advertisement for the massage business. No, I still like doing it, but it is a little insane. I hope I don't catch it. But, there is a way to not catch it. Cocaine and nicotine, that's how, and a little bit of amphetamines. You wrap those three all together. It's called an immunity blanket. Brought to you by snake oil.
How did Trump catch it then?
Brought to you by snake oil.
You're more likely to snap and have a suicide, though.
Yeah, how did Trump catch it if that's the case? Because he's doing all that shit.
He wasn't hitting his bleach. He wasn't injecting bleach.
In a different timeline, I think Trump could have been like a Motley Crue type rock star. I think Trump has a constitution for a body that takes a Keith Richards amount, a Tommy Lee amount of punishment, except instead of like being a rock and roller, he's chosen to be like a blob of blob.
Yeah, it's like Adderall and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
McDonald's
the rock star of unhealthy foods. Yeah,
Diet Coke.
He's not on Adderall. He's a teetotaler. He's totally sober. I don't know if he's ever even had a drink.
He's a speed freak, dude.
A lot of people have put forth the theory that his behavior and certain other evidence implies that he has been abusing imported Sudafed, which has an amphetamine. As I'm sure it has the active ingredient in crystal meth.
You know who came up with that theory? Someone with too much on their hands. That's just foolish. Who even cares? You can't look at Trump and be like, you know what it reminds me of? He must be hopped up on that Sudafed. See, my cousin, my whole family's got a deep Sudafed problem, so I know what it looks like when someone's been on the Sudafed. They start tweeting more constantly. They start saying good, bad, side, wall, here, there, and their hair turns like Trump's too. So
hey man, I don't mean to be bad mouthing your boy Donald Trump.
No, I'm not defending.
I think that his behavior might be a little bit erratic and might.
See, this is how sensitive people are. You can't even say it's stupid that to conjecture he was on Sudafed. I hate him for everything else. I just don't see the need to add a conspiracy of. He's high on Sudafed into the, another Twitter thread.
That's interesting. But right here, I have a financial statement that says that you gave money to Donald Trump campaign in 2016.
I did not. Ryan, you can't do that.
Right here, I have a receipt that says that you donated to the NRA campaign in 2000.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Ryan, you know what I got? I got your hotel receipt. Stays in Alaska.
Your tax returns that say that you donated $2,000 to the Republican Party.
Hey Brian, Ryan,
Hey,
why did the
Brian,
hotel room
Brian.
cost $4,000? Why did the
I have
hotel
your
room
tax returns. I have your tax returns right here, Ryan. And they say,
They're putting each
I
other
have a
on butt.
small penis.
That's
not
right.
very nice of my tax returns to say. I apologize, Jason. That's
No,
very rude. Of my
Ryan,
bad
you
Really?
leave tax rate.
returns.
I can
God
handle
damn it.
anything.
God
I
damn
can
you.
handle anything, but when someone starts coming at my tax returns, okay? Those are private donations. I will be sicking my lawyer on you, Ryan. Joke's on you. That's on videotape. I'm gonna be sicking my lawyer on you for stealing my financial records. You had no right to my financial records, and that wasn't Trump. That was Terp. Look at the spelling on it. It's Terp. Turmp. He runs a landscaping company in Florida. Terp.
His first
I
name's
try to imagine,
Ronald.
like, a
Terp is a good
situation-
guy.
Like, you know how like Trump is constantly like his solution to situations is to be like, I'm gonna take you into court. Like, I've known several people in my life that like that's their like gut reaction. I've never known somebody like
That's what
that
I
would
just
wanna
threatened
be
to
like,
do to
that's
you.
cool that like when the chips are down, they're like, fuck you, I'm gonna sue your ass. You know,
That's what
it's
Andy
like,
Kaufman did. That was Andy
Yeah.
Kaufman's whole character. He'd be like, I'm gonna sue your ass. You don't know how many city. He
but
did
it didn't
that.
seem like he had any intention of doing that. He said it to Jerry Lawler, who was in on the joke.
Well, you
I mean,
didn't
people,
know, but the audience didn't technically, or they half did. I don't
well,
know.
so he's playing on their like prejudices of, you know, like
Of
East
the
Coast,
northerner,
like
yeah.
West Coast Hollywood types. you know?
Bopcorn, like a bopcorn kid like me. Let's call it what it is. You're coming after me and my bopcorn kids.
Are you saying to call
My
a
too
spade a
smart for
spade?
school. My too smart for
Trumper.
school cocky. It's so fucked up. I'm not a Trumper.
Too smart for school.
Everybody thinks I'm a Trumper. I don't know what it is.
You're
I don't
always
know what
saying
the
we
vibe
need
is.
more uneducated viewers on this show. You're always saying that.
Well, that's what the Democratic Party aims for, actually. So that wouldn't be Trump. That would be you know, have a conversation with a casual Biden voter, find out how smart they are. You know, I voted Biden, but I voted Biden for the right reason. There's people who voted Trump for the right reason. People voted Trump for the wrong reason. There's
You know what
people
would be
doing-
what would
But
be
you
a
know
great name for a
what?
communist metalhead?
Steal the ballots.
Che Guarva.
Oh, I don't get it. Actually, I'm not smart
Like
enough.
the band Guar.
Hey Ryan,
Che
you know what that
Guevara.
is? You know what that is? That's a little East Coast cocky, cerebral, little too smart for your crowd type of. You nailed it on the head though. A lot of my jokes are fucking stupidly smart. I need to
We're
tone
all
my shit
trying to
down.
just be like somewhere left of Dennis Miller.
I'm just.
right?
I thought Popcorn was me dumbing it down, so that's why I was a little upset about Popcorn. Dennis
Because
Miller's
Southern
awesome.
people love corn. Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to get the
No.
Indiana, Nebraska fucking cowpoke vote?
Montana, actually, specifically the Montana cowpoke vote, would love popcorn. The kids there, the parents are always stressed out about what to do with the kids at home now during this COVID crisis. Get them a popcorn, keep them entertained.
Brings out the creativity.
Montana, that's one of those flyover states, isn't it? That's what we call Montana.
Yeah, if you're talking about the popcorns flying over, then yeah.
What?
You know, the corn
shit, dude.
The super bopper. The popcorn one that's got popcorn blast function. Can knock down a plane. Can knock down a plane with a
Richie Valens, the day the music died, right?
Imagine that, a slingshot or a catapult
baby.
that just had a big piece of popcorn instead of a cannonball. You know, a big heavy piece of.
Right? Are we talking about two different things? I'm sorry.
We are. This is why this is the worst, not the worst podcast ever. What did we deem it before? The raccoons of podcasts. Yeah. So I'm trying to talk about popcorn knocking planes out of the sky, and Ryan's, I think, still stuck on raccoons.
Are we back from our break?
I think we are. And we are back from our break, and we are going to roll right into Snake Fact. My part, this is where I got loose. This is where I really loosen up and let my viewpoints just relax. You know, realize I'm okay with myself. I don't have to let the world judge me. I don't have to feel the way snakes do when they feel judged, you know? I don't have to. That's why I study these snake facts, and that's why our audience demands at least one snake fact a week. We've been going deeper on them recently. This week, you guys, I'm going to tell you about this scary old snake. You want to hear about another scary old snake? Spook you out? This is Snake Fact 44, the world's longest venomous snake.
Yeah.
Longest venomous snake, you guys. This is the world's longest venomous snake. It's the king cobra. You know where this king cobra is from? I'll tell you where. It's from Asia.
Whoa.
You know? It can grow up to 18 feet. And check this out. It's not just that long. It can rear up almost as high as a person, growl loudly, and inject enough venom to kill an elephant. So check this. Check out this triple threat.
Not very nice.
It lists the triple threat. I'm going to tell you guys the triple threat of this king cobra. It can grow up to 18 feet. It can also rear up as high as a person. Oh, it's a quadruple threat. It can
Must
growl
have some
loudly.
abs. Must have abs for days.
And then it can inject enough venom to kill an elephant. I like how it says it can. The snake's like, you know, I could inject enough venom to kill an elephant, but you know, you're just like a human being, so I'm only gonna like use like third of my venomous capacities. That's what one of these would say if it reared up onto you in the wild. It would say, you know what I can do? Eat you alive.
So it would be biting, not only literally, but also like in its estimation of you. And
it could rear up.
Yeah. Yeah, as high as a person, which means that it's got abs for days.
That's true. That is true. It says inject you. I assume the injection happens through a bite with this cobra. I don't see how else unless there's a stingy tail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the
Do you guys know there was a snake that can rear up as high as a human being? I guess I'm not that surprised by that because I've seen in those snake tamer videos and movies, you know, a thing comes up out of the basket and just snakes around like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the guy with the flute is usually sitting, so even though the snake looks taller,
I know.
they're not.
It would be even more impressive than that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Snake fact.
Snake facts. You got anything to say about the snake fact?
You talking to Ryan?
I'm talking to whoever. If anyone's got anything to add in about the snake fact. It can growl. I want to know about what its growl sounds like. Should I look up?
Can we look it up?
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
I want to hear.
All right, so I'm on it. That's what I'm here for. Look up snakes. We get some snake sounds on the snake fact section. How would that be?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Right? We've had snake sites. We've had a lot of snake sites. Snake sounds. And that makes sense, actually, because, well, that's the weird thing about it. Yeah, I got a contribution. You know what's so disturbing about a snake growling is usually they're so quiet. This snake is so tough, it doesn't even have to rely on its quietude anymore. It doesn't have to sneakily slither. It can just
snake confidence.
Growling. Yes, yeah. It's got that big snake confidence. It can just run up on you growling.
I wish I had the confidence of a snake that could just growl in the face of adversity.
Yeah, a cocky snake. You know, it sounds too good to be true.
Or if it's a female, then a real cunty snake.
Yes.
All right, so I got
in a good way, like in a really good way.
You can't say that.
Delightfully cunty.
You can't say that on this show. You can't say that on this show.
What word? Ezra, please tell us what
the
word.
I'm not going to say.
Which one?
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be the one person with decent family values on this show, because I'm trying to teach politeness and honor.
Oh no, this
this
is
kind of thing.
You know what this is? This is a real
King Cobra sounds.
Well,
I'm just looking up King Cobra sounds. Okay. You guys are so clever. I don't know if you guys know how clever you are for realizing the comedic value in that word.
It's
really
only good if you got a British accent, so I'll only use it with a British accent.
Maybe you should just start speaking entirely with a British accent all the time at that point. Oh, did you hear that? Do you hear it? Did you hear the snake sound?
Do you hear it?
Hold on. I'm gonna play it now.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Can you make the noise?
You heard it that
I see
time,
why
right?
we're not hearing it. I see
You
why
hear
we're
it
not
that
hearing
time?
Can you please make the noise?
Turn it up. I heard
Again.
myself.
Play it again.
Did you hear any of that?
Play it. Nope.
No, I guess you just won't hear it. Well, maybe you will. Hold on. Yes, you will.
I'll put it in post.
If you are patient, thou shalt hear.
Should I react to it as if I'm hearing it?
Oh, that was.
Is that what a snake's growl sounds like? Feedback.
Hi, I'm a snake.
Hi,
Be quiet.
guys.
You might be able to hear it. Did you hear any of that? Did you hear that?
No.
You didn't hear any? Okay, it went like this.
I think I heard it, but it might have been Jason.
It goes like this, all right? It's not really much of a growl. It's more of like a. It's like an enunciated hiss more than a growl.
It sounds scary. Is it supposed to sound scary?
Okay, so I worked out the math on this snake, right? So if it can stand as tall as a human, that's what on average about 5 to 6 feet. And it can grow as long as. Come on.
Is that how big humans are? Damn.
I lost confidence.
I'm sorry. It was just you
started yawning.
You started talking about math. You started talking about math, and I was just like immediately just like, oh god.
Don't kill the energy. Fine, go ahead.
No.
At least I'm fucking trying.
The caffeine's not doing
Talking
enough.
shit.
Do I look like a cobra? Do I look like a cobra with my head?
It's the mathematics. Yeah, you do.
Well, you like mathematics. You finish a sentence. You just cut out on it. Jason, you're so mathematics. Yeah, let's talk about non-specific just ideas of shit. No, if I'm trying to get the math on this so you can physically imagine the way the snake would be. If it can rear as high as 5 to 6 people, it can be as long as 16 feet long. That means about 2/3 of it would be on the ground and 1/3 of it would be reared up at you. So like this.
That makes sense because if it was like any more weight, like
is that boring?
No,
right
it's
there.
not.
That's
it's
about
not
it.
boring.
That's about it, except 16 feet long.
I had an actual yawn, so I tried to make it funny instead of
it's just really loud. Check this out. That's it.
I'm just trying to do it along with you like it's a cool dance.
It's the snake. The snake. I was gonna say. No, I'm not gonna name it. I'll let you come up with it.
There's a snake. And then you do it the opposite. In your face.
Ryan, you look like a Satanist right now.
In this place. There's a snake going down.
Snake.
The snake hole all around.
All around. Up and down, all around.
I want to tell you those snake facts.
Snake facts, baby.
Snake facts.
From 78 unique facts about snakes. That's pretty good.
Now I'm playing like a piccolo if you can't see that.
I like it. You know what I mean? You're imaginary. You know what I like about it? That it's not actually the sound of a piccolo. No insult to piccolos.
What does the human whistle sound most like instrument-wise? A flute, then?
An old man buying a scratch ticket?
I just want to know, what can I mime while I'm whistling, instrument-wise? Give me an answer or shut up.
What can you mime while playing an instrument? You can do
Okay,
guitar.
I'm gonna do flute now.
Guitar is an obvious one. That's pretty good. Looks like you're eating a watermelon. Nope. Just looks like you're eating a watermelon. Am I right, Jake?
The whistling is barely
You'll eat
picking
in a
up
watermelon.
is the main
That's
problem.
true.
All right. Well, I give up then.
Are you trying to think of instruments that haven't been aired before?
Oh, I can't really whistle.
Harp. Playing the air harp. See this?
Dude, I got an auto harp recently, and it's so badass because it's called an auto harp because you just press these buttons instead of having to actually harp it up. It's pretty cool.
You know it's good because ass is already so good, but then when it's bad ass, it's the best. It does sound cool. You should bring it on the show and do a miniature folk song concert. Has to be folk music. I don't know why. Well, it's the Pioneer Valley. It's just a bunch of folks. It's just a bunch of folks around here.
Maybe play some drums is what I'm thinking. I should do. I reckon if we do
Drums are fun.
start a folk band.
I play drums too.
Well,
Should
that's
have two
okay.
drummers. Just two drummers and a guitarist.
I'll just whistle. You can drum.
No, it should just be back and forth drum solos. And as we trade drum solos, Ryan also does guitar solos.
Drum duets.
Yeah, all solos. So Ryan, you never get to play a lead riff. You never get to play an intro riff or a lead riff. It just has to be right from the start, solo. You can do that though. You can shred.
Should we get into the movie?
Yeah, let's get into the movie. This week we chose Seven Samurai, directed by Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa. I knew it was gonna mess it up. It came out in what year? 1992, I think.
No, it came out in 1954, I think.
1954. That's what I meant to say. 1954, but the movie took place in 1586 in Japan during after whatever Japanese governance rule had been toppled. The
Sengoku period.
Sengoku period. Yes, it was very much land was up for grabbing, and there were, I guess, farmers. I imagine this is actually true to life. Farmers spent most of their time farming and didn't have much defense against these roaming robbers that were threatening in this movie a main village of farmers. And these farmers, in order to protect themselves from these raiding shogun warriors, I believe, they hire a group of 7 samurais, which is where the title of the movie comes from. And so that's kind of I bungled the intro a little bit, but Jason, you decided to have us watch this movie. Do you want to talk about what made you like it so much?
Well, I love that it creates in stark black and white a period that is so far back in time that we're effectively looking at like medieval era kind of stuff. Guns exist, but there's like 3 guns, and they are devastating, but nowhere near so as much as they are nowadays. But yeah, you just get to see a lot of cool stuff. You don't really get to see what spear-based combat is like in medieval times. And even though this is like in Japan, it's still like the similar tactics where it's like squads of spearmen who like keep like cavalry back and stuff like that. So just in terms of like seeing like ancient warfare, that was really cool for me. But it's got a great plot. It's got great characters, and it's just beautifully shot. Akira Kurosawa kind of defined this type of cinema, which uh, has inspired George Lucas and in the way that he made Star Wars. It's inspired um, Steven Spielberg. It's inspired like manga and comics and just like crazy amounts of different art has been, you know, influenced by the creation of this film. So it's just one of my favorites.
I agree. I thought it was awesome. I also like the way, kind of in its long form way, I like the way the movie, the directing style in terms of shots was like more is less, less is more. I mean,
Hmm.
there wasn't much of a soundtrack to this movie at all, which I think is totally underrated because in general, when I watch movies, a lot of times I feel like it's the aspect of telling instead of showing. But Kurosawa doesn't.
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa does not do that. He doesn't rely on exterior sound or anything really outside of the shot at all, except which kind of sets this terror of the silence within the shots because there's also
Hmm.
always you don't hear much loud noise. When you do hear loud noise, it's those roaming riders who might come in and kill, rape, steal all their crops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except when that's not true.
I
Because
really
the
actually
score
love the
is
soundtrack.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. The like the
And
horns, the actually was really melodic. I found that like there
mhm.
was a lot of really catchy melody, especially in between songs. Really, I mean, it was really it seemed period specific. It obviously wasn't like modern music, but this like combination of horns and like really slight percussion that I assume
Yeah.
was
I
appropriate to
get
the period that this movie occurred in. That's one of the like 10 things that I wrote down was that there was really catchy melodies found in this really simplistic old-timey music
well,
that I found
I,
really like hypnotizing. There was a lot of like
yeah. Well, a lot of times there was someone in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
background. Actually, there was a lot of scenes where there's people actually in the
Mhm.
background, like melodically playing a guitar, and you kind of lost track of it, but retuned back in with, yeah, what they were playing was slightly like insane sounding, but it caught you. But I guess I was totally wrong about there not being a soundtrack, but at least I remember it. I think
There's
what I
long scenes where there's no music for sure.
yeah, there's scenes where
Yeah.
there are no music, and a lot of the times, maybe what I was attesting, I've been tired as hell, but like the music soundtrack, I like that came from within the scene a lot too, which was I don't know what the instrument was, but there was like a guy in the like one of those
The blind
scenes,
monk in the
blind monk. Yeah,
yeah.
those are some of my favorite scenes when they're in the top floor of that barn with the um, visiting potential samurai up there, right?
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a really cool like part 1.
Yeah,
You know,
that
'cause
was
it's like a
part one.
two-part film, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wanna spoil too much,
Um,
especially because Ryan hasn't finished it yet.
I
right.
got really really close.
What do you guys think about the farmer shaming? Like they kept
In what?
like a return line was like, "Oh, you farmer. I'm not a farmer. I'm a samurai. You're nothing but a farmer." And then even the farmers would say themselves like, "I'm just a farmer." Like there was and I don't the director I don't think was making a commentary on whether he was pro or anti-farmer. That wasn't the point, but I think in that society it might have been true to form that
Yeah.
the people who made all the food were the poorest and they always got fucked over to the point where like they would probably also get insulted and taken for granted, which
Well,
Because
I mean,
they
happens.
had to labor for their
They
capital.
had labor, and then
that's
people could
kind
be
of
like,
true
"That's
even
mine."
of even now, like in
It's
our current
true.
society. You know, if
If
you
you,
think about like fast food workers
Right, yeah,
and
food
all the
service
yeah,
people
people.
who are in
they get treated
like
like shit. Yeah,
the meat supply chain,
yeah.
and pretty much, I mean, the people who are keeping our food supply alive
Retail.
are like this integral lifeblood that we like treat like garbage. You know, especially
Hmm.
right now, in all the COVID stuff, they're the most exposed. They have super high cases of infection, and in order to try to keep the semblance of our lifestyle alive, we are consistently exposing and infecting them, which sort of parallels the way that the farmers are looked upon and treated in this movie.
Yeah, I found it really interesting. And this didn't just happen in that movie. It happens a lot with the sense of entitlement that for people like us, if we're given a certain thing and we didn't have to work for it, we don't act as if we deserve it. But there's a certain level within every culture where, for some reason, since the person is giving it to you, you are superior to them, and that sense of superiority makes you talk down to the person who's helping you out. And it's so ingrained in that society that even the person who's being insulted has been insulted for long enough that they don't expect anything else other than to get robbed. Like, that's literally their situation in this movie. Is they're starving already themselves to feed themselves because they have to wait for the crop to come in. And then on top of them not even having enough food for themselves, there's also the threat of those roaming riders who just come and steal all
their
of their
food and
stuff,
their
all their food,
wives and
all their
their
wives. Yeah,
horses. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's a miserable condition right there.
totally.
I say, and I'm not trying to be popular or anything, but that's definitely not an okay way to treat those who help us. Like, for instance, with me, if I go to a drive-through place and someone messes up my order, I don't get super pissed at them because I also think, like, oh man, it must suck so hard to be working the drive-through Wendy at McDonald's. I would be fucking up people's burgers too.
Hmm.
I take that to like an unhealthy level, though. I have like a complete inability to like correct like waiters or like
Yeah,
chefs,
Oh
like if they
yeah, I
do
know.
something wrong, because I think like, who is shitty to waiters and chefs? Fucking assholes. And so I have a complete inability to be like, hey, my order's wrong, because
yeah.
I feel so shitty about being that person that I would rather just like take what I get, because I feel like, it's such a hard job that like adding to the dismay by calling them out is just like too shitty to comprehend.
What if you say it to a waitress and she leans in and she says, "You sure, darling?" Then you say it. Then you say, "Hold on, actually, no, I did want 4 sandwiches and not 3."
I definitely
Right?
have been there where in the place that Ryan describes, but since I started working as a cook, I feel like it's a lot easier to just be like, "Hey, you fucked up." Like
Yeah.
I ordered a cold brew at Dunkin' Donuts, and this guy like puts out like what's clearly a hot coffee, and I was just like, "Is that
Just
my
slap them.
cold brew?" You know, and it's like I fucking know it's not.
Right.
It's not cold brew, but like.
That's when you throw
Uh,
it in their face.
Basically.
Yeah. I'm saying that would have been literally a chance if you were so outraged. You would have had the thing to throw in his face you would have been upset about. And it would have been cold, right?
Yeah, and like,
So
well,
it wouldn't even have burned him. It would have
it
just
was
been a
e
moral lesson.
it was even my fault because like I totally said like, um, can I get what I said was a cold brew dark roast, and then I said, I mean,
It's a tongue twister.
bl- and I said, oh, I mean, black, cold roast black, and he like got me hot dark roast because
Sounds all
or
sexy
cold.
now. All these
I
cold,
said cold
dark,
brew.
and hot, dark
Yeah,
roasts.
yeah.
Ooh, I want it cold and dark.
I like
And
I
then you
like
want
my
it hot and
I like my
steamy.
cold brew,
Hot.
black,
Yeah.
black
Can you
cold
make
brew.
my cold brew hot? Can you take a cold brew and heat it up and make it a warm brew? That's
Yeah,
what I
right.
like. Warm brew.
Yeah, is that what he
It's
thought I
all
wanted?
order, buddy.
A warm, yeah, that's what the French people call it. They call it a warm brew. A warm brew.
A warm brew.
A warm brew. That's not French. That's just mumbling those two words together. Ryan, you look like Hugh Hefner right now, but where are your Playboy bunnies?
That's a good
Off in
question.
the off in the woodshed again. Off in the woodshed again. Off in the woodshed.
Just me.
Counting logs. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. I had something else to say. Oh yeah. So one of the main characters, I liked this because one of the themes in the movie is just powerlessness, because the farmers in this village are completely powerless against the outside raiding forces, and then what they do is they hire a group of people who are completely unmanageable despite their samurai, you know, military capabilities. They are all rogue ninjas, and so then they have to manage the unmanageability of the ninjas that they're trying to hire to protect them. And there's one, Kukichio, who he becomes part of the samurai group somewhat without even it being said out loud, because he's asking to be part of the group of these samurais, and he says he comes from samurai family, and he shows them his birth tree, but it's not his birth tree because it doesn't have his birthday on it. So they're kind of sick of this guy. He was all freaking drunk the first time they met him. But then they kind of adopt him as part of their group of samurai. And the moment it happens is I think it's early in the morning. Kukichio, the crazy son of a gun, he goes and he rings off the alarm bell and gets all the villagers into the town combined there, along with the samurai, as kind of a way to show all the villagers how dependent on their protection that they are. And then the group of samurai see that this wild kid Kokichio is standing up and making his presence known, and they're all like, this kid's pretty cool, actually. And after that,
can I
Kokichio's
stop
part
you?
of the club. Yeah.
That part is actually like super crazy, because at first they're like, oh, he's too much of an asshole and he's too like untethered and he is too much of a loose cannon basically and too immature to ride with us. And then what he does is he sets off a fake alarm and he gets everybody upset. Basically, they think he's too much of an asshole to ride with them. And then he proves them wrong by being such an asshole. Like he doubles down on it, and then they're like, wow, this guy's such an asshole, we can't help but respect him. And then after that, he's
I
like,
think there's.
because he basically fucks with these
It's because
villagers,
he was
the
fucking
farmers,
with the farmers,
so bad
and
that the samurai
they
are
feel
like,
superior to the farmers and in on the joke is what it was, because they already feel like superior to the farmers, but they haven't said it as much. And Kukichio basically comes along and proves it by being the loudest bastard in the room and playing that big prank. And I think it makes sense in a weird way that when they were looking on, they kind of respected him because he was kind of establishing his dominance above these farmers, despite them being going to protect them. They also want the farmers to know that they have the help of some very special people, who these samurai are. They're the top 7 samurai.
but you would think that that he would earn their respect by maybe like bending to their
But it's Kokichio.
Yeah, you would think that he would be less of an asshole and get their respect rather than him doubling down and then being like, you know what, we were wrong. This guy who just like fucks off and yells at people, that's cool too. That's like sort of the shock, is that they're the ones that say like, you know what, we were wrong. It's fine. Just yell at these people. They didn't welcome us, so you know, fuck with them as much as basically you.
Yeah, well, they're very competitive. I feel like it spoke to the competitive nature. I noticed amongst all the Japanese people in this movie, including between the farmers, between the warriors, there's kind of a sense of constant competition, which they could be kind of mean to each other without ever physically lashing out at each other. And this little prank that he pulled, I think he tuned into the samurai's unconscious want to be respected, because I think what he thought was that they weren't given the proper respect they deserved by even coming to possibly offer to protect these lowly farmers, you know? So it makes sense to me why they took him in after that. And also there's like the fun neighborhood kid vibe. He's just different. People like to be around someone different.
Well, also
Kokichio.
he doesn't know that they are all reacting to the information that they all think they might get raped by the samurai. They don't know that that's why they're reacting like that, is that they've been told that they're all gonna get raped.
What did you guys think about the scene where the dad cut off his daughter's hair because he was worried that she would be raped? I mean, I didn't like that. I think that would happen because in that culture, women were kind of viewed as possession. So for both sides, for the dad and for the rapist, there's a power play in which the poor girl, you know, gets held down by her father and has her hair cut off. It's pretty brutal, and I guarantee you that's happened throughout history multiple times, and it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Cut someone's hair off is to like rob them of their power. He does that to protect, I guess, his honor, really. And then the main samurai calls him out on that and says, "You're at a threat of having your head cut, and you're only worried about saving the hair on your." And I thought that was dope because he was right. It was right. You shouldn't be cutting off your daughters to preserve your own respect. It was a pretty lowly farmer move, if you ask me. I don't know what you guys thought about that dad's executive decision-making skills.
It reminded me of the scene in Natural Born Killers where Rodney Dangerfield molests Juliette Lewis, who is his daughter.
I haven't seen that. Now I don't want to see it.
I forgot about that.
I'd be like, oh, I gotta go see it. Great.
Because it's I mean, it's obviously it's an assault, it's a violation, you know, it's played that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's I mean, if anything, it's like a great illustration of how there's no threat, but the threat of a threat like manifests itself, even though the samurai have no plans, it seems, to molest all of the village's women.
It's a horrible threat, though. It's that's awful. That's awful, Ryan. Why did you? No, that is one of the things, and that's interesting. That not women are viewed as possessions, and yet also very valuable possessions. And the dad's thinking is, if I can't control who she loses her virginity to, she's not going to have that chance of ever gaining her own independent sexuality to begin with, without saying so much, basically, you know?
That being said, though, there's like a guy who says to him in the first act that, like, oh, the last time this happened, like, the samurais, we don't know if this is true or not, but he says the samurais come and they just take all the women. So
yeah,
so he does, whether it's true or not, think that this is a real threat or a thing that is likely to happen. So I'm not to say, like, excuse the terrible way that he acts, but that first guy is an asshole too, because I don't know if this is a real thing that the samurais did. Probably. I mean, I assume it's like the army today, you know, that probably does that a whole lot. Like, if you were a foreign country and you're like, oh, good, it's the United States Army, I bet they're not gonna, conduct any funny business. I bet they conduct a lot of funny business.
That chance. I bet they do a whole lot of funny business. Yeah. No,
do you guys have like a favorite character?
Kukichio. I like Kukichio.
I really like Rikichi.
I like Rikichi a lot. This movie really did a good job at like characters. You feel like as this movie develops, you certainly start to get a sense of all the. I find it difficult. I've recently found out that black and white movies that have a lot of characters are hard for me because in a movie I take subtle color cues to differentiate the characters. I have a little bit of face blindness, so sometimes I have to be like, okay, that's the guy with that hair, or that I recently realized that movies that are in black and white I have a lot of trouble with, because I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of, especially old movies where everybody's wearing a suit and a hat. I have a hard time, unless somebody's got like a scar or an eye patch or something like that. I have a really hard time differentiating characters.
Well,
That
Rikichi's easy to recognize because he's a really young man with like this comically bald head. That's like, like the style,
But
It's
my
like
favorite
his,
character was, I can't remember his name. The first guy that gets picked up, the guy who the first guy where he's just like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, that guy, the
I
guy
don't
that's always
remember.
smiling. That's
Oh
my.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I think it's let's see.
They don't say his name a bunch after
Oh,
the act that he's in. Not
uh,
like
Heihachi
that's him.
Hayashida, Heihachi Hayashida. Yeah, the guy who is chopping wood.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's funny.
I had the same difficulty with face blindness in this a lot too, and I think I kind of went with Kukichio just because he was the most obvious to tell.
Yeah, I mean Mifune
When
is a very
him, except for
very
the leader.
recognizable.
There's a leader, and there's one of them that was hooking up with that girl, right? One of the seven samurai was off having an affair.
That was the kid, right?
That was the
Yeah.
kid. Well, the kid
younger
and
one.
the other guy looked really
Minori
similar. I
Chiaki.
felt like, yeah,
Or wait,
yeah,
no, the kid,
the student,
Katsuhiro.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was off
Because
getting it.
he's also the one where when him and the girl meet out in the field of flowers, and then she says act like a samurai, which I think means she wants him to like
Take her.
yeah,
Take her.
like
Yeah.
roughly.
Chino.
Yeah,
And then I couldn't identify with him more than when she does that like all forcefully, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Like he completely
Yeah.
recoils, like not
Yeah.
ready for that at all. Like holy
Yeah.
shit! Like she in that moment she reveals that she thinks that he is a complete like savage, and that's what she wants, and that he is horrified by that. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I can identify. Like in that situation, that's a tough pill to swallow, buddy.
Totally.
yeah. That's too much pressure to put on a poor samurai.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
After all his
you know?
sword practice, yeah. Just because he's
Mhm.
been practicing his sword doesn't mean he can just whip it out at a second's notice. Oh, Ryan's popping bottles because the fam be gone. He's off his diet, treating himself good.
Mead. I'm all about mead these days.
Ooh.
It's gotta have
You
so much
guys-
sugar in it, though.
Oh, mead. I thought you said weed.
Yeah. No, I'm about weed too, but it doesn't have that much sugar in it. Weed.
Right. I'm trying to think of if I had anything else to say about
I had a couple
the
things.
movie. You did? You're ripping. You rip on.
Okay.
Rip away.
So first, I don't know if we all watched the same Criterion subtitled version of this, but I noticed that there were a lot of like sort of white people-y translations, in that like when somebody's angry, one of the expletives that they often used in the subtitles is that rascal. I noticed about 3 or 4 times.
It was probably
as
like
well as
fuckhead or something.
I
It was probably
underlined the
dog.
phrase rascals,
Dog.
mud snails,
Mud snails. I remember that. Yeah.
and fine and dandy.
Mud snails just sounds super racist, though. Mud snails does sound like a
I also
hate speech.
I also wrote down
item.
my there were a lot of lines in this that I really liked, but I wrote down what I decided is my favorite line, which is their fort is full of holes like Yohi's underwear.
It's prophetic right there.
That's just a great burn on Yohi.
That was a great burn.
So apparently there is a Japanese mud snail.
We should
I don't
include it
know.
in snake facts.
Yeah,
What
maybe
about
we
rascal
should.
though? Rascal
Rascal.
seems like a Western.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're saying vermin or dog or something like that, which is a much more Japanese insult.
What kind
The
of
Asian
bears do
burner.
they have in Japan? Because the other thing that I wrote down is that they reference bears 2 or 3 times. They say like even a bear comes out of the woods when it gets
Panda
hungry.
bears.
And then about
What
halfway
about panda
through,
bears?
is it what kind of bears? Panda
Do
bears?
they
Is
have
that what you
panda
said?
bears? Maybe.
No, that's China.
Okay. I'm
Any
looking it up though.
Okay, I don't know if it's grizzly bears or black bears or some third kind of bears, but they talk about it enough that it made me wonder. So
There's a black bear and a brown bear. The Asian black bears in Okuniku are distributed throughout Honshu and the Shikoku Islands. The brown bear lives only in Hokkaido, Japan, so they're separated from each other. The blacks and the brown bears are in different spots.
I've
They
discovered
did some
that
redlining.
I've
Good
discovered that
redlining.
hikoki means farter. That's a common Japanese insult. Hikoki.
Cuts right to the matter of things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really does. It
it also implies when you say it that I don't fart.
yeah.
Not me.
You know what we didn't talk about even is their hair. Like, am I the only one who, as this movie went on, was like, you know what, their look is actually like pretty dope.
Yeah,
Bald?
no, the outfits and everything like look amazing, and I love the set. Like the houses look like I love the destitute woman who is like, you know, eventually she goes and kills the first guy that they capture, you know, in the
That's pretty
scout group.
gratifying.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're glad that she gets to. You're like, yeah, you know, she deserves it. Like her, you know, she
yeah,
deserves the revenge for her son, and she's, you know, she just wants to die, and now she gets to die knowing, uh, satisfaction. So,
yeah. She got her kick in, her licks in, you know.
kind of heartwarming, actually.
Yeah.
Revenge, sweet revenge. Yeah.
It's one of the most heartwarming murders I've seen in a minute. I'll say that.
But I love when they're like in her hut and the rain is just like coming through the roof, you know, and there's like puddles on the floor. It's just like the destitution is just like palpable, you know?
Oh yeah, and you never know if they actually have tons of food and shit that they're just hiding inside of their places. That's something that uh, the ninjas were constantly saying. You know, they're also being
samurai.
samurai.
Yeah,
I know the word. I can't think. That they always acting like they had some reserve of food and drink.
Kikuchio.
Kikuchio. Was he listed? Did they ever officially say, "Okay, you are a samurai now," or was he?
No, I mean like that's not how it worked. That's not
he
how it worked.
said
You
he's
have
a
to come from
samurai like a bunch of times. Like, so
yeah. Well, no, he
that's
like
it. That's what's up.
he admits like his background. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't gotten to that part yet, but you know, he's definitely like
I get that
like
he's not really a samurai.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I know
He's
he's.
an orphan and stuff. I know
Yeah,
that much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the
I
rest of
mean,
it tonight.
if a group of samurais can initiate someone into the samurai code as Ronin, probably not, since they're Ronin.
Yeah,
They're
you have to
independent agents.
you
I have
have to
It's
come
all
from
about
a samurai
experience in the
family.
field. You got to
Let me
get some
ask-
murders in.
Let me ask each of you this: did you guys think that this movie made being a samurai look super cool? Because I'm gonna go first. Yes, I was like, that's awesome. I mean, it made it look like part cowboy, part, you know, hobo, part like the idea of being a nomad and going from place to place and helping people is like this classic archetype. And in addition to that, the idea of like being this sacred order and having a set of principles is something that in, you know, one way or another we have like stories about people who do that. And I don't know, I was just like, yeah, this is super badass and
Totally.
unbelievably so. You know,
Yeah.
I've known that samurais were a thing forever, but this movie definitely was like, wow, this is like a really like awesome. I don't know, like the way I imagine people must have felt when this first came out was ecstatic, and this movie really like grabs you and takes you into a world that you want to like be in and that you enjoy traveling through.
Yeah.
I took a Japanese lit class in college actually, and I read a book, Tale of the Heike, that was slightly biographical about this period in time, and it's if you like just descriptions of warfare scenes playing out, that's like what that whole book is. It's the Odyssey, except covering this Japanese Hengoku period or whatever, when the land was just up for grabs. For that period lasted like 300 or 400 years too.
Well, one thing about this movie
Japan that settled.
I like took in was that where the two guys are talking, and the samurai basically says, like, you know, talking relieves like all the wounds. Like the only thing,
it got all therapeutic.
like it's but it's like it's crazy because you would think of you know, like a samurai archetype as being like strong and silent and all bottled up, and like, so it was I don't know, it was cool to have like the sort of Eastern version of that be like, yeah, you can't just bottle shit up. You gotta talk to people about it so that, like, you know, it doesn't consume you.
Well, he's part of a team too. He's being a good coach because he's on the same team. So good coaches do that through a time. They don't humiliate their players for their emotions. They take them aside, and
it's just like it's a badass.
Yeah, I would say I would love to be a member of the samurai. One of the interesting differences in this movie, though, is that they decide to fight for a cause, whereas with those Ronin agents, at least, a lot of times they're doing awesome stuff, but they're also doing it to gain status as, you know, one of the top noble, whatever, most victories, samurai status you can achieve. I think that might get lonely. So I would like being a samurai for a while. Actually, I would want to cash in my chips and be like, all right, I'm just gonna, you know, die for the farmers now, you know?
I kept thinking about how they said when Kukakichu was first like coming over, and they're like, well, this guy was in a huge street fight, but he's drunk, you can't test him right now. And they're like, you know, a true samurai never gets so drunk that their wits are dulled. And I thought for like 10 minutes after that, I was like, I wonder what that means. Like, I wonder if they have like, if there's a like a, you know, a how drunk you can be as a samurai, and then what that must translate into, like in sake, you know, which because they mentioned sake, so that must be generally what they're drinking. So that must be, I mean, enough to dull your wits. What's that? One sake, two sakes, you know?
Yeah,
about
a
sake or two.
What's
that
the
reminds me of like
IBU,
19,
you know?
It's like the 1950s shaming of alcoholics at work. Be like, just have a couple. Just have a couple. Never anything too serious with us samurai. Maybe he meant we can't even get drunk. So tuned into reality that even if we drink fucking 20 sake, we're still so tuned into everything happening in the cosmos. I don't know. But I would say about.
But yeah, this movie inspired a lot. The Jedi are totally inspired by this film.
Yeah.
R2-D2 and C-3PO are based on some characters from another film by the same director.
I can see why, like, and no offense to anybody, but I can see why like film nerds like really grab onto this, because it's got like all the things that Star Wars has without being so exploited that it hurts to like.
Yeah,
you know? Like personally, I can't enjoy Star Wars anymore because there's like too much. I have too many complicated emotions about it, and like any of the CGI, like, you know, has me completely divided. And so to watch something like this where I'm like, it's really watchable, it's really engaging, it's really epic, you know, but I don't, you know, I feel like I can be all aboard. I don't feel like there's any, you know, weird like tie-in compromise to just enjoying it as a story. So
Yeah,
Like,
and it's really sober and grounded too. You know, it's not like the Force. You know, where like it just gets increasingly more like just plot cutting, like with Ray like healing and shit like that. That said, The Mandalorian is actually really good if you haven't watched it.
I'm planning on
not.
watching it for the first time over the break, over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. So
It's season 2 is wrapping up, so it's probably a good time to do that.
I'll let you know. But I hear Werner Herzog's in it somewhere. So
Yeah,
and
he's
Bill
in the
Burr,
first season.
right? Am I right about that?
Bill
Yeah,
Burr's in it. Nice. Well, now I'm
yeah,
gonna see it.
his episode's great. Yeah.
Word.
I
So
haven't
what
watched any of the-
movie are we gonna watch?
I don't know. Does anyone have an idea of one to watch?
I want to watch.
next?
I want to watch Lords of Chaos.
All right.
It's
Lords
of
Chaos?
2018 movie about 1990s Norwegian black metal starring Rory Culkin. And
Okay.
All right.
It's from
Documentary?
2018.
The documentary?
no, it's a film.
It's
It's
like a
an
black metal
adaptation
horror.
of a book about
Nice.
true events.
What's it called one more time?
Lords
Oh.
of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos. All right. So for episode 20, we will be talking about Lords of Chaos. You guys good? I think we did a good licking to episode 19. We gave episode 19 a good old licking.
Yeah, hell's yeah, dude.
Licked,
We got
licked it
And
like
I-
a
got like
cat
an hour and a
licks
half.
lint. An hour and a half.
I hope everyone else enjoyed it as much as I did. This was a real
And you
this
haven't
is a real
even
treat. And
finished it.
I really like this movie, and this was a good this is a great episode.
I give
Excellent.
it 3 thumbs up. I give it 5 thumbs up.
I give
all right.
it
guys.
I give it one raccoon paw way up high.
Thank you guys for
I'll give it one
tuning
down
in
low.
to Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop. This has been episode 19. We discussed Seven Samurai. Next week we'll be talking about Lords of Chaos. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ezra Proud. We got Jason Gallagher and Ryan Arnold. And make
Good
sure
night,
to
everybody.
vote on Snakes Tight. Peace. All right.